Welcome to Our Voices, Our Stories. You matter, and that's why we're here. Today, we're blessed to have Mike Duffy with us.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about his life, his history, and remember to like the videos on YouTube, subscribe, send them to your friends. Let them know about them too.
Everybody.
Mike, so one thing I learned about you when we were talking previously, you came out at the age of 18 in
Yes.
Provincetown
In Massachusetts.
in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
which is considered by many to be gay heaven.
It is.
And
Yes,
what
I
was
have-
that like for you as a young man?
Oh man, when I first come out, I actually disappeared for 2 weeks.
Okay, because
I was, I had a father that was one of the strictest fathers ever, and he was like no nonsense, no bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can say that, but he ruled with an iron fist. If I got in trouble at school, trouble was worse at home. If you know, and that's how so uh, when I originally come out of the closet, I hid for 2 weeks, and then they had all these people looking for me, and I caught wind about it, and they're like, you probably should call home because, they're like, because I like, cell phones were just starting to come out,
right.
so I did have one, but I didn't tell nobody my phone number, because back when that come out, it was like, yeah, you can only call after 7 o'clock.
Uh,
So it was free after 7. So I never told anybody the phone number. And then I called and I told my sister, and I met her in a Sears parking lot, and she was like, what's the problem? I met her at a Sears parking lot. I walked in, slumped in her car. She hadn't seen me at all, and she's like, what's up? And I told her I was gay, and she told me, she's like, well, that's it. And I like, she was fine with it.
right.
My mother was okay with it, come out to be okay with it. My father was the hard sell, but he was he ruled with an iron fist. Okay, and being born in Massachusetts and born Catholic and raised in a strict Irish Catholic, you just did not do that.
Right.
And it was just not a way of life. You know what I'm saying? So, I come out, and you know, it was tough because you don't know how people are going to react. I've lost some friends over it, uh, and then being out and 18, and you're like I hate to say this, but you're a young kid in a in a uh, mm, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but you're put out in this thing, and there's really nobody there to tell you except other people, and you hope you grab the right answers from the right people.
Yeah,
I I guess that's the best way for me.
there's not a lot of role models.
There are not, well, like in 1995, uh, I remember listening and learning about Elton John. Okay, and I remember uh, reading an article that touched me because he's just what was that kid there? That kid, he
Ryan White.
Brian White. Yes, you know who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started this thing about it, and then I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I can be like him, be a big inspiration. You know what I mean? But then I started getting into my field of business. Right, I cut down trees for a living. So then I started getting into this job, and I didn't go the way I wanted. I wanted to do other things in my life. Instead, I did tree work, and I loved doing what I'm doing today. I've done it for 35 years, and but I remember when I got into it, boy, I was made fun of hardcore. You know what I mean? Because I'd be like, you know, you, well, the guys would be like, "Oh, I'm going to the bar today," blah blah blah. And I'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm going home to my man, and they're like, "What?" So it was different. and even today, talking to people, talking to my straight friends, like I have some friends that would be like, "You found anybody yet?" or "You got a boyfriend yet?" or I'd be like,
Right.
"No, I don't." And sometimes it's weird to talk to them. I so I overheard somebody saying, I pray not to be gay. Sometimes I wish I wasn't. Sometimes I do, to this day, because you know I was with this man. His name was Frank, and he told me, he said, being gay can be a very lonely life. I never really listened to what he had to say to me sometimes, but now that I
Well, you
listen,
were young.
I was young, and he was definitely my. I was 18 and I was with him. He was 38, so he was already my. He was
Right.
definitely. And I didn't listen to everything he said to me all the time because I was young. I was, man, I was full of piss and vinegar. I don't know if I should say that, but
Yeah, you
you
can
know,
say it.
I I was full of piss and vinegar, and I just thought I wanted to rule the world. But I was young, at 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I come out to my sister, and she was like, "Okay, blah blah blah." She's like, "Well, where are you staying?" And I told her where I was staying, and that I met somebody, and blah blah blah. And so my sister met him, and then like 2 weeks later, I set it up for my mother to meet him, and then, but and that went on for 3 years, and I was living my life for 3 years, and I was happy. I really was happy, but I was trying to develop. I was trying to get into this tree business a whole lot more,
Yeah.
and being into this tree world, you're in a man-dominated world. That is, it's like the police slowly women incorporated into that role, right? And it was okay. At first, it wasn't okay.
Right.
But I know women cops that I'd want to have my six before their male counterpart, 100 to 1. Okay, uh, I know some female firefighters that are amazing. You know what I'm saying? And so they think just because you're gay, you're a male gay guy, you can't do this job of a treat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when I was in Boston last year, and I was at a club, we touched base about that, and the bartender was an electrician.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And he said, in my day job, I'm an electrician. And we talked for a couple days. I went up there, and so I mean, it's more common up there than it is down here. But still, a tree guy, man, I got to tell you, I think I'm the only openly gay tree guy on around, and probably openly in the United States. I know that's a huge statement to make, but I don't know of one other one. You know
So, what led you to get into the tree business then?
what led me to get into the tree business? God, I tell you, I went to do a job. I was actually in the landscaping business.
Okay.
I love land. I actually love hardscape over mowing a lawn.
Right.
Putting in a wall, or putting in a water feature, or pool, or infinity pool, and just I like hardscape. I like seeing something immortalized in front of me. I love that. So I went to work for this guy named Dan Malloy, and Dan Malloy owned this company called Westview Landscapes, and he used to put in high end golf courses. That was his thing back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And they had put this golf course in, and at the last minute, they decided to take out this big old cabbage pine. After it was all the rocks were out of there, we had done hydroseeded this whole thing. They come at him and said, "We got to cut that tree down." He said, "Well, we can't drop it now." He said, so they had to bring in this guy. And they ended up bringing this guy named Bob Crane in. And Bob Crane, I watched him throw on these hooks on the side of his feet, and he ran up that tree and did that thing. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. Because I'm not scared of heights. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a good thing.
Like, some things do bother me. Like there's this movie called The Wire, and
Yeah.
the way they did the 3D effect, or
Uh-huh.
AI, looking 1,400 feet down, what looks like 1,400 feet, that bothers me. But to do tree work is easy. climbing up the side of that tree. I think I love it so much because I control my own destiny.
Yeah, which
Okay.
is a very nice thing to be able to do.
I control how that limb. I could take it in two pieces. I could take it in three pieces. I can take it in one whole piece if I can rig it out that way. I love the fact of being able to control how I can piece out part of a tree. I love it when a homeowner comes out and I got a rope up there and be like, "How'd you get that rope up there?" I threw it up there. You,
So you're young, you're gay, you decide you want to go into the tree business, which is
yes,
very much a heterosexual type
it
of
is.
arena and everything. So I don't want to say you weren't gay anymore because you were always
Always
gay,
gay.
but
So then I developed this straight side of me. I was the man I was with. I had only one tattoo, right? Because he would never let me tattoo my body because he told me that the God gave you a beautiful temple. So
right.
why do you want to put ink on your beautiful temple? So the only tattoo he'd ever let me get was this one on. We all got it together, and but as soon as I uh, went straight, I guess you want to say it. My straight ways. First thing I did was get a tattoo, and he was like, "Why'd you do that?" And then I got another one, and then I got another one, and then I got another one, and then, because they're addicting. Once you get
Yeah.
one, you can't get just one tattoo.
So what made you, and we'll use that term since you've used it, go straight?
Go because I was being made fun of, and I just didn't like it. So I said, "Well, let's go. Let's have straight Mike then." You
Okay.
know, and I developed making this real butch per se, completely. You know, I like be like I'm the Rip out of Yellowstone when it comes to tree work. I'm that guy. That's gonna get the job done. That doesn't care what we got to do to get the job done.
Right.
If I have to walk through the swamp to the other side to get that thing done, that's the biggest, toughest, manliest thing I can do. So I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? Just because that's
So you embraced
braced
what you wanted to do and kind of created that life for
life.
yourself.
Yes,
Because if I understand from what I remember us talking about, then you got married
I did.
at one point.
I did. I got married four times.
Oh my gosh.
And when I come out again, I don't know, 28 years later, I called every single female I was with and apologized to them for using them. The ones I married,
Well, yeah.
for using them and taking time away from their life. I
Hmm.
apologized to the ones that I got
How
married
did
to.
that go over?
Um, it's pretty good, not too bad. I'm best friends with two. I'm best friends with one of them, 100%, and then I'm friends with another one, okay, and then the other two I could care less about. So the other three I could care less about, but uh, um, yeah,
So you've decided then after 28 years, did you say,
28 years I hit
to
it.
come back out?
Yes, and
And were you here in Western North
I was here in
Carolina?
Western North Carolina. I was married to a great woman. She's a wonderful person,
Right.
and so I got married to her, and some things happened, and then I realized in life that life is too short, and you're only given one life,
Yep.
one, and
That we know of.
right, yeah, no, there's no proven
Right.
afterlife yet that we know of, right? So you're only given one life, and some things happened, and in the 9 years I was with her, and I decided after I knew she was okay, I just needed to come out of the car. I just needed to do this
Yeah.
because you're not guaranteed tomorrow, okay, and nobody is guaranteed. You're not guaranteed the afternoon,
Right.
okay, because I have a close friend that's a client, and you know, him and his wife went out to dinner, and he come home and sat on the couch and died. 57 years old. You're
Life is
not
short.
guaranteed tomorrow.
No.
You don't know when
So
your time is up. Your time is up.
so how has it been to reemerge as a gay man
in the
Now
Bible
that you're
Belt.
older in life also, it's not like you're 18, 20 anymore. You're an older man now. You've experienced life.
Oh, let me tell you. Okay, when I was 18 and come out of the closet, whew, man, it was different. But okay, that's a great question. I'm 50 years old. I come out of the closet. I'm in a predominantly the Bible Belt state.
You're in a Bible Belt state.
Yes. Okay. When I first moved here in 2005, I was thrown off of a woman's property because I had tattoos, and she told me that the devil had my soul. Okay. So in 2005, when I come here, I would hate to have known how it was, right?
Mm.
Because I feel bad for the, you know what I mean? It had to be tough. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing what I see today. Um, how do I feel it is? I feel there's still a lot of progression that needs to take place.
Oh yeah.
I feel these people think that you're gay, you're not the same person as you were when you were straight. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm the same person as straight Mike or gay Mike. The only difference is who I lay down with at nighttime.
True.
There's no difference.
True.
Okay, none. I can do the job just the same way as straight Mike can.
A lot of people don't understand that. And that's because,
You know,
that's why we need to do more education.
there was this woman that's a lesbian that I was listening to her, and she's like, "Oh, happy Pride," you know what I mean? Happy Pride Month.
Mhm.
I was listening to her on TikTok, and she's like, this isn't we're normal people. We go to the store, we buy groceries, we do things, we pay our bills like everybody else does. There's nothing that makes us different. And love is love.
Mhm.
And everybody should be allowed to love who you want to love. Right? So the the thing that we touched the base on it about, I live in Hendersonville, and it's tough living in Hendersonville, being a gay man, owning a tree service in Hendersonville, because it's more. I'm gonna go there. It's more Republican area than it's not as there was a gay bar in Hendersonville, and it's not there no more.
Oh,
It's closed.
I never knew that.
It was open, and it was, from my understanding, from some people that told me that lived in Hendersonville, it was brought to the owner's attention to close the bar. It shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that happening. It happens more and more, unfortunately.
Right. It does happen more and more. Somebody asked me not too long ago, uh, you know, because the way the government is right now and things are going on, and they asked me that, uh, you know, if the government come to you and said, Mike, we know you were straight before. If you want to come back over here, all right, and we'll protect you, man, I'm gonna go over here and protect the people who can't protect themselves
Yeah.
because they need a voice too, and that's what people don't.
Yeah.
And it's not fair.
No. It's
Have I seen have I think my business has suffered from it? Yes. I do think some people have spread the word, you know what I mean? Have, like, some customers that I've, they've said to me, they haven't said it to me, right? But they're like, "Oh, price, Mike, I go into, you don't have to, I'm big boy, man. I have some thick skin." My tattoo artist used to tell me I used to change the needles at one time because they would get
Right.
they'd get dull. You know what I mean?
let's take a quick break here,
Uh-huh.
and when we come back, we're going to talk more about what it's like to be a gay man living in Western North Carolina, in Hendersonville, and how you're aging through that. I guess is the best way to
Okay.
say it. Cool.
Okay.
All right.